do it so well. D-C-O-L. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep ripping loud till there's no more left in that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep ripping loud till there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys.
What's up with you guys? It's your boy West Coast.
D-C-O-L. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep ripping loud till there's no more left in that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep ripping loud till there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. DC, that B4L, reppin' that star, I do it so well. It's Puma on the toes, but the stars on the clothes. I'm Starboy, fresh at the DF Dub. Yeah, I'm a hard hitter. Don't stare to fit, it'll ego hit you. What is you saying, man? Look at the swag. Please do forgive the brag. I'ma pull up later in the Cowboy jag. Don't you slip on the drip, I'm flossing the sauce. Go so hard for the star. Yeah, that be win, lose, or draw. If you take a L, get the F off my block. Cowboys win. Watch yours, pull up the shots. Really can't help it, got a star status. Even got it tatted on my arm. Yes, we be 5 ring strong. Left a little room cause it's quest for the six. Starboy really reppin' this shit. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep ripping loud until there's no more left in that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep ripping loud until there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys to the death for me.
Yeah, tell me who the #1 fan. Yeah, Mr. Westside, I'm the man. Dallas Cowboys from my head to the toes. They better recognize who the fuck I am. Damn, haters run their mouth like a bitch when they team ain't shit and my team stay lit. Yeah, I'm about to rep this shit to the day I die in an all blue casket. If you wanna get with a club with love, tell Star Status Westside sent ya. Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame. Emmett Smith is our main. Game time, prime time, all the time. Your team ain't never on TV like mine. That's because we different. We America's team and we run this. Like Zeke runs circles right at defense. Jerry Jones, that's nonsense. Let the coaches coach. And I'll have a smoke. And I know y'all wanna toast to that.
Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep ripping loud until there's no more left in that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep ripping loud until there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. DC, that B4L. DC, that B4L. DC, that B4L. Reppin' that star, I do it so well. DC, that B4L. DC, that B4L. DC, that B4L. Reppin' that star, I do it so well. D-C-O-L. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep ripping loud till there's no more left in that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep ripping loud till there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. DC, that B4L, reppin' that star, I do it so well. It's Puma on the toes, but the stars on the clothes. I'm Starboy, fresh at the DF Dub. Yeah, I'm a hard hitter. Don't stare to fit, it'll ego hit you. What is you saying, man? Look at the swag. Please do forgive the brag. I'ma pull up later in the Cowboy jag. Don't you slip on the drip, I'm flossing the sauce. Go so hard for the star. Yeah, that be win, lose, or draw. If you take a L, get the F off my block. Cowboys win. Watch yours, pour up the shots. Really can't help it, got a star status. Even got it tatted on my arm. Yes, we be 5 ring strong. Left a little room cause it's quest for the six. Starboy really reppin' this shit. Reppin' this shit. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. I'ma keep reppin' loud until there's no more left in ya. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. I'ma keep reppin' loud until there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys to the death for me.
Yeah, tell me who the number one fan. Yeah, Mr. West Side, I'm the man. Dallas Cowboys from my head to the toes. They better recognize who the fuck I am. Damn, haters run they mouth.
What's up with you guys? It's your boy West Coast. Yo, in 2020, I've teamed up with my hot boy, Jalen Smith, number 54, to bring you guys some of the most What's up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast, and we live in the building, man. How are y'all doing on this great, what is this? Is this a Tuesday, or is this like the second day of like free agency? I'm not even thinking about what day it actually is, man. This is a good morning, though. What's up with y'all? It's your boy West Coast. Actually, it's this afternoon. It's 3:29 out here in California, so it's 5 out there in Texas somewhere. And yay, before we get this show started, I'm about to get my boy Boss Cowboy up in here, so give me like 1,000th of a second. And while I do that, I want to know what has been if you had to give the Dallas Cowboys a grade thus far as free agency and things like that on a scale of A, B, or C. We ain't going to say F. Why? Because, come on, man. We got to be nice. So on an A, B, or C, you know what I'm saying? What is your grade that you've given the Dallas Cowboys thus far? While I get my boy Boss Cowboy on the line real quick. I think you guys are going to be surprised by my grade. I think you guys are going to be surprised. And today has been basically like a subtraction day. Ain't been a lot of addition, but it's been a whole lot of subtracting today. All right, there we go. Boss Cowboy, we in a bit. All right, bam, there you got the link. All right, so, man, okay, so we got some, hey, CJ. See, God, even my scout, Leah giving him a C. All right, now. If you give the Dallas Cowboy a C, I need at least a one-sentence explanation. You know what I'm saying? I need at least a one-sentence explanation. You know what I'm talking about? And guess what? Boss Cowboy does not know I'm going to ask him this question, and I'm going to ask him as soon as he gets in the building. Boss Cowboy, I'm going to give you a couple seconds because I gave them a couple seconds, right? If you have to grade the Dallas Cowboys thus far on free agency on an A, a B, or a C. We ain't going to say no Fs or no Ds because come on now. On A, B, or C, what are you giving the Dallas Cowboys? While you think about it for 2 seconds, I'm gonna go ahead and shout some people out.
I don't
over
need 2 seconds.
I know, but go ahead and take it anyway. Yeah. Well, why I go because we got some people in the house over here on Facebook.
Let's say hello. That's cool.
What up with your Money D host? I see you, man. They said they cleaning house. I see you. What up with your Buddha? I see you, Buddha badass. Hey, Buddha, how do you have a supporter +2? I want to know how are you a supporter +2? That's like some new hot I ain't never seen before. Terrell, what up with you, Mr. Ames? I see you, man. I appreciate you. Supporter over there. Who else we got? Ruben, I see you in the building. Gabriel, I see you in the building. We got Tony P. Nasty. What up with you, man? Jamal, Coach J, what up with you? Alex, what's up with you? Nathaniel, what up with you? Diane, he says, what's up with you? Hey, I saluted. Fred, what's up with you? Fred, you giving him a C? Fred, I need at least a one-sentence explanation on why you giving him a C. I need it. All right, Mark Anthony viewing from South Arkansas. What's up? I got folks in El Dorado. I don't know if that's considered the South or where that is, but I got some folks in El Dorado. Ruben, what's up with you, man? Nathan, what's up with you? I know we got some people over on YouTube, too. CJ, I just said CJ over here. He said the music is lit. I appreciate you. That's my boy, Starboy 214 hard hitter out there in Dallas. Giving us that song. We got Bubba Johnson. Appreciate you. He said Tyson West Coast thought you said he was gonna lose Cooper. Sorry, Seagulls and Deadskins and Giants. Well, I didn't actually say we were gonna lose Cooper. My video, and you can read the title. The title actually says, barring a miracle, the Dallas Cowboys would lose Amari Cooper. And guess what? A miracle happened. We restructured Ezekiel Elliott, and we also restructured one other guy. I forget the name. Got $5 million extra, and we were able to give him that $20 million a year that he wanted to get. So praise God for that. Leah, what's up with you? Julius Celius, I see you. Philly Cowboy 76 in the building. I see you, man. Bobby, what's up with you? Hey, man, Super Chat is on. I promise you, I just put a nickel in there a couple minutes ago. It worked. And I appreciate all the stars over here on Facebook. We got 130 people on Facebook, so salute to the nation over there. And then we got 12 over here on YouTube. YouTube, they come in late. YouTube, they be late. YouTube, that real good employee that know they really good, so they always be like, they get a grace period of 10 minutes, so they be in here about 11 minutes, and they look at you, and then they get a sale, and you can't really say nothing to them because you're happy they got the sale. That's how YouTube is. You know what I'm saying? All right, so Boss Cowboy, let's get into it, man. Since you just slayed up in the room, I'm gonna let you give your grade first, man. What are you giving the Dallas Cowboys thus far? And we're not talking about today. We're talking about everything that happened yesterday. What are you giving the Dallas Cowboys? Then we're going to update you guys on everything that's happened today, and we'll go from there.
A++.
Oh, my God. That's how I know this dude's. Hey, we're related to each other, like, on some, like, cowboy, like mental level. Like, yes, bro, really? Because, hey, on everything I love, Buddha will tell you the truth, because me and Buddha done lost money together. Buddha will tell you. It's two people. Hey, it's two people. You got to keep it 100 with your lawyer, and the second person's Buddha.
Right.
So Buddha will tell you. What was the first thing I said when I got on here? I said, I think you guys are gonna be. My boy said Camden. First thing I said is, you guys are gonna be surprised by my answer, because that's what for yesterday, and I gave him an A+. I gave him an A.
I'm giving him an A+ and plus. I'm talking about perfect.
My boy said
so
far, like in the Bible. Go ahead.
Perfect.
Why are you giving him an A?
Perfection.
Defend your A, because there's some people out here that, there's some people like Leah. She a registered nurse. Like she know what she talking about. So if she give him a C,
before I even start, y'all gotta share, man. We got 130 people on. We got to get this up to 300, like, all right, easily. And if all of us share, go to your groups, go to your favorite Cowboy people that's maybe quarantined right now, and share. But now it's an A++ because actually everything that's happened is I expected Quinn to leave, because it's like we can cry over spoiled milk, and I'm not saying he's spoiled milk, but it's just really one of those things to where he did his thing, and you know how Dallas is. They're not going to pay for week 1 free agents. So we was already saying, and I put this in the draft guide, that he was likely gone, and to try to prepare for after Quinn, so in Byron Jones, I expected him to go, because you have people like Hargraves who will be considered a failure by most standards. He's getting $13 million, which tells you, in my opinion, just how weak this corner free agent class is. So it was going to expectedly cause bidding wars with Byron Jones. That's why you saw him go, and we predicted that. And it's not that we hoped it would happen. It's just that you got to kind of know it's going to happen and then be prepared for the contingency plan. So, West Coast, you talking? Because I can't hear you.
Oh, no, I'm just prepping Instagram. We live on Instagram, man. You know how I be.
Okay, man. I got you. So, and I wanted the big pieces done, like Cooper. I feel like Cooper and Dak are whenever you take care of the triplets, even though Dak's contract is not done, I think the most pivotal pieces to the Dallas Cowboys is the triplets. So the fact that they took care of that is like one of the biggest dominoes to me. And
absolutely.
I can't let anything kind of take down my spirit. And it's also just from a standpoint
of, hey, boss, not to cut you off, but let me get you up on Instagram, man, because you're going in, and I want them to miss. Yeah, I want Instagram to be able to, because we got about 37 people over on Instagram that's waiting for the information. While they get up, what we were talking about is same question I'm asking everybody, because we know today's Tuesday. Before we get into today and everything that's happened today, we're going to talk about kind of like not necessarily yesterday, but very, very briefly. I just wanted to get everybody's grade on what they felt yesterday that the Cowboys did. And me and Boss Cowboy, we basically agreed. I was giving the Dallas Cowboy an A. He gave him an A++. The reason being is because we didn't chase anybody that we shouldn't have chased. And basically everybody that we kind of expected to lose, we lost. You know what I'm saying?
Expected it.
Like, to keep it real, at the end of the day, you have a quarterback for 2020. Now, is he going to be pissed off? Yes, he's pissed off. But like my mama used to say, son, it's rather to be pissed off than pissed on. So, So so but at the end of the day, I do believe they will get a deal done. I hate the way they're doing it. I do absolutely do hate the way they're doing it, but I do believe they're going to get a deal done. You got your wide receiver, man. Half of your offense is your entire offense is locked up now. So now it's basically about getting a deal with Dak Prescott and most importantly getting him some more weapons, so that you can now, because I mean, I said a statement yesterday that a lot of people kind of criticized me on, but signing Amari Cooper and getting Dak Prescott on the franchise tag only promised you that we're an 8-8 team, because that's what we were last year. We were just trying to sign these guys just so that we could stay at that cusp, because without either one of those guys, you're worse than an 8-8 team. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we were last year. Now that we have built now that we have our foundation, now we can actually start adding players. But you can't add something unless you already have a foundation. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't build on a backyard if your house is wobbly. That's not how it works. You build your foundation first. You know what I'm saying? So now we actually have a foundation, and we can actually go out there and get some pieces. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, man. All this shucking and jiving, it did cost us some pieces. Like, my boy Phillips, Jordan Phillips, he got signed today. I forget where he went, but he got signed today. And when you don't have money, when you have money tied up into, trying to take opportunity to keep your quarterback, man, that allows you not to be able to do things like that. So, I think the Cowboys at the end of the day, I gave them an A for yesterday, because the thing, I love the fact that we didn't chase Cobb. Also, I love Cobb, but I love the fact that the Dallas Cowboys didn't chase him, and they gave them opportunity to bring in some younger folks in here. So, let's get on to this. Let's get on to stuff that's happening today, and then we'll give you guys our grade to tomorrow. So the first thing that I think the first biggest news that kind of came out today was you had one Robert Quinn going to the Bears. I mean, I'm going to keep it 1,000 with you guys. In my scouting opinion, I kind of knew that, I think we all knew Robert Quinn was going to be gone. The reason why we knew Robert Quinn was going to be gone was simply because the dude gave you 11 and a half sacks in goddamn 11 and a half, and what, 4 and 6, what is, no, in 14 games, because he was suspended the first 2 games of the season. So, I mean, 11 and a half sacks in 14 games, man, that's something worth paying for. And he's a guy that's had a 20-sack season in his career. So with that, can you turn me down a little bit in the background? So with that, it's very, very easy for someone to have faith in giving Robert Quinn a contract, simply because he's already had success in the past, and then he just had a pretty successful season, and he only played 14 games. So in my opinion, I really, really knew that it was going to be hard for the Dallas Cowboys to pay Robert Quinn unless he was really going to try to take a deal that was going to really depreciate him. And one thing that we got to always remember about players is 2 players that never take discounts: young players and old players. So that leaves out who? Exactly. Nobody takes discounts, bro. This is 2020. They making more money than ever. Why would you take a discount in 2020? You know what I'm saying? So Robert Quinn, what was your thoughts on Robert Quinn going over to the Bears?
Real quick, my grade was way too high. I said A++. When you factor in Dak, you got to take that back to a B+. So, but what I think about Quinn, it's expected. I mean, and I feel good. I feel good about it because none of the contracts that went out, let's be honest, none of us would be comfortable paying those contracts that went out. This is why Stephen Jones don't shop in the week 1 of free agency, because everybody in week 1 overspends for everything. Just being honest. You know what I mean? You like the I didn't want Quinn for 5 years at that amount. I mean, I would have loved Quinn for 3 years, but 5 years, too much. And you not go bid with that. And nor should Dallas bid with that, So, I mean, I like Quinn, but we offered Quinn a good deal and he took it. We said, come to our system, we'd fit you. Tank is going to take on most of the double teams and get most of the attention, which is going to free you up. You're going to be attacking from most teams' blind side. So it's going to help you come here, give you all, and get paid. That was the agreement of him coming in, and he did his thing. So the major reasons why I'm not worried is because the CBA also freed up Randy Gregory, right? it's official now that players like him won't get suspended anymore for marijuana. I'm not saying he's Quinn, but I'm also saying that, hey man, all of us was excited over Randy Gregory last year and wasn't excited over Quinn. That's a fact.
Well, I mean, if
Like we
Randy
was
Greger's on
all
his team, Quinn probably doesn't even happen.
exactly. So, and then I'm also counting on the fact that usually on year 3 is where you get your biggest gain in defensive ends. It happened with Tank. It happened with Taco. It's going to likely happen with Armstrong. So we still have good insurance. Like we have good insurance for the defensive end position. So it's nothing, in my opinion, to panic about, because I looked at the reserves of what we have. And I think we sitting in a really good place reserve wise. So I didn't lose a week of sleep of losing Quinn, and I expected it. The only thing that kind of hurt is some of my top Marshals guys got away, like Vic Beasley and Shaq Lawson. But West Coast also predicted that. He said, boss, I know you like Vic, but when you're a former top 10, it's always going to be some people that felt like you got away. And when they get a second chance to get their hands on you, they're going to take it. And he told me, I was like, yeah. And I agree with that. I couldn't fight that logic, even though my heart wanted it. And it made sense in terms of a high quality Marshall's grade free agent. My partner's West Coast logic was just too strong. And I was like, I can't fight sound logic. And so they got away. That's the only thing that hurt, because I felt like it was real quality replacements that could have even upgraded Quinn, but they gone. But I'm also still cool with what we got. Those are my thoughts on Quinn going to Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, and for the Chicago Bears, it makes sense. I mean, they're gonna pair him. They're basically gonna pair him with Khalil Mack. I mean, he's gonna play right there on the outside. Yeah, they're gonna pair him with Khalil Mack. He's gonna be playing on the exact same side, coming off the exact same end.
And Max still will be getting all the attention.
Yeah.
In the same situation.
So I mean, what you really did is like, this is, I mean, for the Chicago Bears, it made sense because it'll probably prolong. It's gonna make Mac look like a god. Why? Because now that any attention that he was gonna get, you're gonna have to give it to Robert Quinn. So I mean, for their defense, it made sense, and I don't think they a lot behind it. But for the Dallas Cowboys, like, that was always my approach. That was always my approach with Robert Quinn this year. I think I put him in that boat where, he played so well that somebody was gonna pay him. Him and Cobb were in that exact same boat, rowing it together. You know what I'm saying? I even said it on the videos, like, these guys outplayed their contract. They outplayed the contracts that the Cowboys gave them. So with that, you have the opportunity where this was basically a tryout year, and he tried out, and that dude balled out. You know what I'm saying? So it made sense, and you got to think like this. This is Quinn's last contract. So, man, for a fact on that last $70 million, that's a lot of money. Like, technically, man, that dude make more money than Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith, like, 5 years younger. That's crazy. That really lets you know how much they wanted him, man.
And I'm going to be honest with everybody. We're going to subtract and feel pain before we feel pleasure. So before we got Cobb last year, the first pain we lost was who? Cole Beasley. And everybody was like, oh, he was a quality weapon. Then we got Cobb, and we was like, we cool. But you got to remember, when we shop, we start really shopping week 2, week 3. So in week 2 and week 3 is where you're going to see us start replacing some of the losses that we have, because we're going to have to upstock. And I'm going to tell you right now, be prepared for some more losses. Get prepared to likely lose Looney, because so far we're 100% on everybody we say we're going to lose. We're likely going to lose Looney because his tape is too good. When you have tape, that's starter grade tape, and like Looney is like Quinn, where, man, this might be your only chance to go get paid. You got to go get it, and we're not going to pay top dollar for a backup. We're not, especially when you have McGovern sitting there and Williams sitting there. You're not going to do it. So just because of the overstock of the position, he's likely gone. Now, somebody that might stay is Xavier Suafulo, because he already had kind of like a suspect reputation coming over. So he might be the guy that we retain, because he'll be happy to just be on the team. But Looney tape, don't prepare yourself. He's likely gone.
Yeah, Looney's, yeah. And the cool thing about it is, Looney is he's a starter caliber guy. You know what I'm saying? Out of all, these are all guys. Caliber. These are all guys that are starter. Hey, Boss Cowboy, slide a little to the right in the Instagram. And yeah, man, they're going, and on YouTube, I see you guys. I see my boy Tyrone, my boy Dwayne, He says, he said, my boy Dorone says, what about bringing in Dante Flowers? Then we also got Tyrone Church. He's also asking about Noah Spence. Noah Spence, I remember during the draft process, he was a name that they didn't like. Not saying that they didn't like him, but I remember my boy Brian Brodus liked him a lot. And the Cowboys, did not like Noah Spence at all. You know what I'm saying? They weren't really big on him. So it would behoove me to think if the Cowboys would go back and, kind of do that. Flower, I don't know if his injury history is going to be cool for the Cowboys. My boy Deshaun Thompson up there says, okay, that's two anyways, else wants to hop on Malcolm Jenkins. What are your thoughts on Malcolm Jenkins? That's a good question coming from YouTube.
I mean, I love Malcolm Jenkins. It's going to depend on his price. He's a super quality Marshals. Like, he's somebody that has everything that fit the Marshals profile. The previous great, because that's the first thing I look for, somebody that has previous greatness in them. And then sometimes you look for when they're trying to get rid of people for money. So basically they're not viewed as valuable anymore. And his age, he's high quality, but at the same time, he's looking to be paid. So we're not going to look at likely people like him unless he has a really good price. Because look how quickly we killed the defensive end rumor that was starting to leak out.
Jadeveon Clowney.
We killed it quick. You know why? The price. We was like, look, and Mike Fisher, he the first one to get the call, likely from Steven, like, kill that rumor. Because more than likely what was happening is people like to use the Dallas Cowboys to get paid.
Yep. Because if you only have one team that's interested, you can't really bargain.
Yeah. So Dallas made an executive decision, like, look, man, you not gonna use our name to get your money. You're gonna have to get it based on what people really think about you. You're not gonna pimp us like that. So they went out and just was like, no, we are not looking at him unless his price come down. Came out just like that. Like, that's Dallas though, and that's Dallas week 1. And the reason why, and I forgot about Dak, it would have been an A++, but it's expected because all of us should actually start trusting in this process, because this is the process that has built us to all this excessive cap space. If we didn't have that current tag on Dak, we would still be sitting on epic cap space right now. So us not shopping in week 1, I love it, because I'm fully in agreement with Steven. I've been critical of Steven, but I also have to be very, 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 very honest about the fact that Steven on budgeting at this point of the year, the best, and he's not going to panic, so he's not going to see guys like we see guys to where we get a Christmas list and we be like, oh, I want that guy. He's going to be like, it doesn't fit our plan. We're going to shop at Marshall's. Our family does not shop at Neiman Marcus, and that's just who he is. But from that process, our closets stay looking good. Our shoes look great. Our hats look great, but you don't know that we didn't pay up top price for it. So I want
until you go 8-8.
Process.
Until you go 8-8 though. Until you go 8-8. Until you go in 8-8, and then they be like, "Wait, time out." So you sold that time. You just, what you did is you cut that label off that other jersey, and you sold it. I ain't gonna West Coast back in the day, because my mom said we was poor and we didn't know it. So what we used to do is we used to cut the labels off our old shirts, like the old Tommy Hilfiger, and we sold them on the new ones. When you go 8-8, you know what they do? They pull you. They check your tag, and they say, "Ooh." Yeah. So you didn't want.
I don't blame 8-8 on talent, because talent.
I don't blame it. I blame it on the whole. I believe it. I mean, at the same, I believe it on the whole system. But hey, man, we're gonna switch to another subject right after this commercial break. What's up with you guys? It's your boy West Coast. Yo, in 2020, I've teamed up with my hot boy Jalen Smith, number 54, to bring you guys some of the most exclusive eyewear known to man. CEV. I mean, everybody's wearing them. Make sure you guys go over to CEVcollection.com today and use promo code CEV West Coast to get yourself a hot boy discount today. What's up with you guys? It's your boy West Coast. Yo, in 2020, I've teamed up with my hot boy Jalen Smith, number 54, to bring you guys some of the most exclusive eyewear known to man. CEV. I mean, everybody's wearing them. Make sure you guys go over to CEVcollection.com today. What's up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast. So, yo, we back, man. And this portion of the show, we want to talk about this new team out there in Las Vegas called the Las Vegas Cowboys, man. Salute to the Las Vegas Cowboys, because that's basically what happened today, man. You had Sean Lee, you had Jeff Heath, you had Malik Collins, and did I say Jason Witten? Jason Witten all signed with the Las Vegas Cowboys. It's crazy, man. Craziness is going on. But let's talk about each one of them one at a time. Kind of go through each one of them. And we also had some breaking news a couple minutes ago. We saw that Sean Lee did re-sign with the Dallas Cowboys. So we're going to talk about that right after we talk about the Las Vegas Cowboys. So, Boss Cowboy, I still got you on the line.
I'm here, my brother.
All right, so we up here. So, Joe Tradition said he said that's why I haven't won a Super Bowl, because we shop at Walmart too much. Kerry says not Sean Lee. CJ says not my knowledge. Probably he will in 2 signings. What's up with you, Emily? Adam says they're declining option on Finley, but they want to re-sign him. Okay, I see you. What up with you, Dakota? It says Dak keeping us in it. Absolutely. All right, so yeah, man. So let's jump on this. So the first thing that I think that kind of came across.
Let me address that Walmart comment. No, man, we winning because we shop at Marshalls, not Walmart. Look, we wouldn't have. Cobb almost had 1,000 yards. That was a Walmart pick that looked flawed. It worked. Quinn looked like he was declining. He only had 6 sacks coming over, and a lot of us didn't want him. Now we want him because he had 10.5. It worked. Shopping at Marshalls, not Walmart, because if you go to Walmart, that's cheap men shopping. I'm not saying go to the bottom. I'm saying go to Marshalls mid-tier, where you're getting your department store clothes from Neiman Marcus, but it's usually for a reason that doesn't make sense. So, no, it works. And it wasn't talent why we didn't win a Super Bowl. So these guys going to get paid because it worked.
Boom. Yeah, because if they suck, they wouldn't be getting paid. Right. And then my boy Dakota says we went 1-7. I mean, y'all, I'm gonna keep it real. Like, man, I can always tell when there's new people on the feed, and I love new people on the feed, because whenever they come, they always bring these stats that you always hear on the Shannon Sharps and the Skip Baylesses and stuff like that. Like, my thing is this: if you're ever gonna use a stat, you got to use the whole entire stat. And when people say, "Oh, Dak was 1-7 versus winning teams," that's in 2019. Go look at his stat versus winning teams in his career. That's what matters. You're not signing someone because of 8 games. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So it's like, whenever I see stuff like that, you just gotta, you look at it, but at the same time, man, every loss or win is a team sport in football. So you can never put someone in a pedestal where you think that they're gonna win, that they're responsible for a win or they're responsible for a loss, and especially 8 of them. And let's just be real. The Dallas Cowboys on the road have not been a good team since 2018. In 2018, we went on the road 9 times. You know how many times we won? You know how many times we won on the road in 2018? How many do you think, boss?
2018?
Yeah.
1?
Boom. We did. You're absolutely right.
Oh.
We lost. We lost every other road team. So it'd be funny.
2016 was a good road year.
Yeah, 2016 was a good road year. But 2018, we lost every road game except for 1. And I think that only road game that we won that year was the New York Giants. But we lost to Houston. We lost to Seattle. We lost to the playoffs to the Rams at home. I mean, on the road. We lost to
the Colts.
The Colts. Yeah, we that whole entire season, we had 8 of our in total losses for the entire season were on the road. So, like, when people bring up,
maybe I think it might be 2, because I know we beat Philly and we beat the Giants. So
2000. So yeah. So
we won 2 road games all year.
So in 2000, so when people look at it and they say stuff like, okay, Dallas Cowboys, Amari Cooper doesn't play well on the road, but as a whole, it's not that Amari Cooper plays good on the road, don't play on the road. The Dallas Cowboys don't play good on the road. Like, we're not a real road team. Like, and to be honest with you, I mean, that's what that stat really shows. So it's like, I hate when people micromanage a stat and they put it on one person, where it's like, bruh, if you look at the whole team, like, I can see if the Dallas Cowboys were a good road team, right? We were a good road team. We go on the road and we beat people, right? But we don't. Like, that's not, over the last 2 years, we have struggled on the road. So then how can you be mad for individual players for struggling in a road where the whole team is struggling? That makes no sense. It's kind of like when Dez was like, yo, did you guys notice that all of our stats have dropped? Not just mine. Everybody's stats have dropped. And the funny thing about it is, two of those people since then have gotten new deals. That's Jason Witten. Jason Witten has gotten 2 new deals since Dez been released. Cole Beasley has gotten 1. That's crazy, right? On to Jason Witten over to the Oakland Raiders. What are your thoughts on Jason Witten going over to the Oakland Raiders? And what
that's why I came on the show, and I know Marcy was looking at me and was like, "Huh? A++?" Because I'm big on culture. Okay. And the biggest clues that I was looking for all off season to know if McCarthy had real power, and Leah was looking at me like, huh? A++? I was looking for what we was going to do with both Heath and Witten.
It was 3 of them. It was Heath Witten and Sean Lee.
It was no getting rid of those guys. I made a lot of money betting that those guys was going to return when the whole world was saying, oh, we're going to get one of those safeties. And I was like, bro,
nope.
They love them.
They love them. Nope.
So when you see guys that are loved and admired with this organization, and you have a head coach with the common sense to make the right business decision, like they said that Witten made a quote that he felt like he still has the ability to be the number 1 tight end.
Jeez.
He was trying to work his sauce all the way to the end. And McCarthy said, I don't believe it. And then that's why he's gone. So we have a coach that's sticking to his principles and his standards. I told everybody, he moves on when you get older. He doesn't get older and he doesn't fall in love with players. He makes the hard business decisions. It was a hard business decision when San Fran decided to move on from Montana and Lott. But it was the right business decision because it was like these guys are up in age and we don't want to hold these guys to the point to where they fall off a cliff, especially when you have Steve Young sitting behind them. So our best chance of staying contenders is going younger, and that's what he did. And so because of that, I came on the show. I'm excited because I love to see that we have a coach that understands that it's no favorites. Like what did Romo say? Life is a meritocracy. Except McCarthy is running it like that. Like it ain't no favorites. Heath no son here. Heath is not go just favor him because he's Jason Garrett, one of his favorites. He like, no, man, I look at the tape. And the tape says you got 2 bad shoulders and likely we need to move on. Tape says, and I said this, Witten doesn't fit the West Coast system. So I was waiting to see, well, we're going to treat him like a son, or what did we do what we end up doing with Witten, which was the business decision is to move on and go with the guy that actually fit the system. The person that fit the system just got paid.
Yeah, man. I mean, when you gave Jarwin $8 million a year to be your tight end, that guarantee. He's when you look at your weapons, he's like your 3rd highest paid weapon right now. I mean, Amari Cooper's at 20. Zeke is at, well, actually, I mean, Dak is technically, well, he ain't a weapon. He's a quarterback. But yeah, it's a weapon. He's your third highest paid weapon right now. You got Amari Cooper at a dub, $20 million. You got Zeke at 14, and then you have your tight end at 8. So that lets you know that all 3 of them dudes going to be on the field a lot. So, I mean, it was, if he's saying that he feels he's a number 1 and you just paid Blake Jarwin $8 million, that lets you, and think about this, right? That also lets you know that the Dallas Cowboys made a mistake last year, too. They subconsciously realized that they made a mistake last year by not playing Blake Jarwin, because Blake Jarwin got starter money off of the film that he put out last year. And if he got $8 million off of that film that he got last year, that lets you know that he should have been playing more. Like
exactly.
Jason Witten did hold us down.
He's taking his reps.
Now, and also
he's done his whole career.
Exactly. And I'll let you guys know something too. The Raiders are doing the exact same thing, because I'm out here in Southern California. So I pay attention to, what teams do, and I paid attention to what the Rams did when they moved from St. Louis to California. You know what they did? They dumped everybody. Like, they dumped everybody. Everything and everything. They just started dumping everything. Players just started getting released. They started trading players. And another thing they started doing is they started signing older players. You know what I'm saying? And the reason being is because I'm not saying that they really care too much about this first season, but it's all about getting those free compensatory picks that are going to be in good rounds, because most of these players that they're releasing are going to go out and play. Look at the compensatory picks Miami's about to get, bro. They're about to get a good run for a Minka, because he ended up being an all-pro. If I'm not, did Minka be he was at least a Pro Bowler.
He
then
gotta be an all-pro.
And then Robert Quinn was a goddamn Robert Quinn had 11.5 sacks, so I know they're going to get a good one for him. They're going to get something. Damian Wilson, they lost him in free agency. But, I mean, they're going to get some money over there. They're going to get some stuff over there. So, that's what the Raiders, that's kind of like what the Raiders are on. And that's why the Raiders are picking. That's why they're so open to picking up Jason Witten. That's why they're open to picking up, Jeff Heath. Why? Because they're hoping that they play a little bit above where they play, and then they get the free compensatory picks. And think about this. Older veteran players are cheaper. They're cheaper. You know what I'm saying? Jeff Heath ain't going to be much. He ain't going to be much at all. You know what I'm saying?
And I didn't think he made sense at all to the Raiders, because the Raiders already got a really good tight ends. I take all the Raiders tight ends over every tight end we got right now.
Bro, but you got to remember, they didn't
over to the Raiders.
Yeah, but they didn't.
That's the Raiders. Ain't my fault.
Yeah, but Jason Witten ain't a part of their long-term solution. I think. That's a. I think that's a Jason Witten having, because him and the GM over there that's over there, him, they used to be both in the industry. You know what I'm saying? So I think some of these guys have friends in the industry, and I think he made you know what I'm saying? That's what I believe it was.
I believe that too, and that definitely seems to be the case, because personnel wise they had actually a better situation.
And he's not going to be there, and he's not going to be their number one tight end.
Yeah, but he went over there with the expectation, but which goes to say your point is more so right, likely that it was a favor.
Yeah.
It was who and some guys you bring in because you believe they're going to bring in a certain type of chemistry to a young team. They're going to bring a certain type of leadership. If you believe that, now I don't believe that, because I've been a Dallas fan too long to really believe Witten is really leading the guys inside his room. I felt like he was more so taken from the guys inside his room. But if you was on the outside and you believe like, I believe that Witten is a leader and he's going to come in with these young guys, okay, well, take that risk. So yeah, I mean, but now it's kind of like, in my opinion, their problem, so.
Yeah, man. So shout out. I just hope he brings that same intensity. We don't play them at all this year, so I mean, it's not like we'll be able to see Jason Witten. That would have been very, very exciting to see.
Somebody asked, can Blake Jarwin, can Blake block? It really don't matter. It really in the West Coast offense, because McCarthy made that bet on Graham, and we all know Graham can't block out of a wet paper bag, right? Because the way that McCarthy is going to use Jarwin in his West Coast offense is going to be more of a vertical threat. Under Jason Garrett's former system, we was a heavy run first team, so you wanted a person that was like Witten, because at least you knew that he could block as well as he could take care of short and intermediate routes on like 3rd and 6, 3rd and 3. He could do that type of stuff. But under this West Coast system, that's kind of not going to be a priority to these type of tight ends. That's why if you go look at the history of McCarthy's tight ends, they're athletic. They're not kind of like the balanced tight ends to where you want them to be blockers, So the old regime would be like, can he block? It's like, no, not under this offense. It don't matter. We go just really need him to be able to put a slight hat on hat, barely kind of put a body on somebody. It's not going to be to where we're expecting them to hold up because Zeke coming behind you. It's not going to be that offense. So to just answer that question, it don't really matter if Blake is a blocker, allegedly like Witten. That's never going to really be Jarwin's game, just like it never was Graham's game. But Graham is still a Pro Bowler and multiple Pro Bowler because of his former ability. I don't know if he still has it to stretch the field.
Man, your answer was so beautiful. I mean, it only takes me one word to ask you to answer that question, and that is Zeke. Zeke don't need no god dang tight end. Nobody give a damn about no tight end blocking for Zeke. You think Zeke is Zeke because he had tight ends blocking for him? Man, if you don't slap yourself, man, I'm sorry, man. This is the thing that I always trip out. Whenever someone is trying to like diminish someone, or when they're trying to like scrambling, blocking is always like the number one thing, because they always be trying to think that like, nobody's gonna go watch film and see if people block. Yeah, we did. I did. Yeah, I did a whole film. I did a whole breakdown. It was actually my second video of this offseason. You can go see it on my page. And I broke down almost every play from Blake Jarwin. It was kind of easy because he didn't have a lot. But the dude can block. And more importantly, you know what I also learned? That blocking don't matter for Zeke. It don't matter. If you're tight end, if us being able to run the ball is predicated on Zeke, why in the hell do we have the second highest paid offensive line in all of football? Why? That doesn't make no sense. Doesn't make no sense at all. And then think about this, right? On the final play, on that fourth down in the playoffs against the Rams, you know who was the lead blocker for Ezekiel Elliott? Noah Brown. Noah Brown was. You know what I'm saying? So, in my opinion, is this: the Dallas Cowboys they're gonna put whoever's out there. They're not out there. They're not making. You know what I'm saying? They're not making. They're special sets for certain players. But I know this: Jason Witten wasn't no better blocker than Blake Jarwin was.
Yeah, it wasn't like a major schism in it at all.
And then the uptick on what you're getting in Jarwin, like his ability to stretch the field and take up, like Blake Jarwin is a legitimate like big play threat. Like, and you know why? He played wide receiver in college.
Sleeping on his yards after the catch.
And that's what exactly.
He's a monster.
After catch.
Not just good, a monster.
Like he's a refuse to go down type of dude.
Yes, he has receiver balance.
We play receiver in college.
Build. The only thing, he's just not explosive athletically, but if you get him on the right matchup,
tight end on a linebacker, yeah.
Oh, he go win.
Average linebacker,
he's
gonna win
99% of the time if it's a base defense. And it's a passing down, I'm going with him all day winning that matchup. Because, West Coast, I know you play one-on-one, obviously, because you play corner. How many times did you used to look at linebackers covering athletic tight ends and used to be like, oh, my God. We used to call it athletes on stilts.
Yeah, we try to get it.
So stiff, man.
We try to get
you got to have smooth hips to cover somebody like Jarwin, man. You can't be like a stiff person, man. And so like on the right matchup, I'm going with Jarwin 1,000 times.
Yeah, man. So it was addition by reduction. We had, about a month ago, they put out that Jason Witten and McCarthy were going to be sitting down and having a conversation, and then the very next day it was put out that Jason Witten was possibly going to the Giants. I was like, dang, that conversation hadn't have gone good. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing because it lets us know that we are putting winning before tradition. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes
and favorites.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm look forward to it, and I'm actually kind of excited about it. Next subject we're gonna be talking about is Sean Lee. Sean Lee did resign. I know we did have some.
And before we talk about Sean Lee, y'all hit that share button real quick. Y'all keep hitting that share button, especially on every subject. Because obviously, we hit different subjects. It's a good time to get your friends involved to kind of hear before they kind of tune in the middle of what we're talking about. Because I saw somebody ask, a question that we already answered. Like they asked about, what do you think about Clowney? We already said his price is too high. Yeah, that's what might official league. So we don't want to catch people like that where we addressed it, but you don't know they addressed it. So this is a good time to share. I'm sorry to cut you off, Wesco.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. And my boy Lucky says, Jason Witten was a way, way, way better blocker. Yes, over his career, but not in 2019. Not in 2019, brother.
I agree.
And more importantly, man, the film says it. Just go look at my page. You can just type in Blake Jarwin, look at the blocking. I did a comparison on both. Like, it's just, like, you're not going to tell me that a guy who is possibly stronger than a guy who's possibly faster than a guy is going to be able to block faster. How does that work? Blake Jarwin can get to the block faster than Jason Witten does. So how does that even make sense? Like we were a spread team last year. Like we spread when every time that we got the ball, for the most part, we were running off our tackles. We like to run off our guards. You know what I'm saying? But we were trying to get that ball out there. So where do you, that's coming off your tight end. Where do you even Zeke has never been, if you even go look at Zeke in college, Zeke has never been a guy that was his ability was predicated off of a tight end. If you think about some of Zeke's biggest runs, like in college and even in the NFL, what? He took one step, hit that line, and went up the middle. Like it ain't never been if anything with Zeke being a home run hitter, I want my wide receivers to be able to block. You want to know why? Because I'm going to need them downfield. The only really time you really need really, really good blocking tight end is if your offensive line's not that good. You know what I'm saying? Because he gives you a sixth offensive lineman in your blocker. You know what I'm saying? But, man, I'm trying to go downfield.
We got a new listener, and I want to address him because he's new. Just real quick. Danny Mullenux, he the one that asked about Quinn. He said, so what do you think about defense losing a lot of key players? How do we replace Quinn? We did address that. We looking at Armstrong hitting his stride because he's going into year 3. If you look into the history of defensive end, generally in year 3 is when you really take off. Like think about when Take really took off. He took off in year 3. And matter of fact, we never would have drafted Taco if we knew in year 3 Tank was going to be what he became.
Absolutely.
So the exact same thing happened with Taco. I don't want to rehash it, but I just want to let you know we did discover this. So we talked about this already. And so that's the answer to your question. But at the same time, y'all hit that share button. So as we address stuff, you don't catch people coming in mid-show where they missing stuff we already addressed. So hit that share button, please.
All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about is Sean Lee re-signed with the Dallas Cowboys. And I know Sean Lee, when that name first comes up, I think there's a little hesitation. There's a little hesitation. Why? Because of the injury history and the age. But, I think I'm more concerned with LVE and his ability to play. And with us knowing, I think our base defense is still going to be a 4-3, but I think we are going to play some 3-4 simply because it's in Mike Nolan's. Mike Nolan's had success in the 3-4. I just knew that we weren't going to do it this year because it's going to create too much of a havoc trying to switch it around in 1 year. So that's more of, you're going to switch your defense, that's a 2 to 3 year process, you know what I'm saying, if you want to do it the correct way. And you also think you just paid DeMarcus Lawrence to be a 4-3 defensive end. You know what I'm saying? So to then take it, to then remove him, that makes no sense. So, but at the same time, I do believe with the way that teams are playing us, that we are going to play some 4-3. So having, some 3-4. So having some good 3 solid, possibly even 4 linebackers is a good thing. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, man, there are some injuries that you just got to take serious, and anything that's related to someone's neck, you got to take that serious, man. You got to take that serious because think about this. Ever since Jason Garrett made the comment about, his injury he doesn't believe that it's career threatening. He hasn't played a down since that statement. So it's like, and another thing that's crazy about LVE is like, you would think at this point or at some point they would start putting some videos out of him running or, attack social media, attack that pandemic that's out there of thinking that you're injured, but you don't see any of that. You don't see any of that. So with that, I have nothing to go on but the last thing I heard from LVE and a linebacker with a neck problem. That sounds like Sean Lee to me. And so that lets me know I probably need to keep Sean Lee for at least 1 more year so I can know what's going on with LVE.
Yeah, and so Sean Lee was an absolute must. You have to, because that's also a reason why y'all still, even though free agents is started, you should invest into the draft guide and the offseason guide that I wrote a book about, because I address every one of the needs in detail. And so a lot of people West Coast don't see, unless you purchase something like my guide, which is super inexpensive, that we have 5 expired contracts at linebacker and we have 6 at defensive tackle, right? So that tells you right there what the biggest needs are. And that's obviously defensive tackle, and then behind that is going to be linebacker. So just because we so depleted, like you have Malcolm Smith out, was on a expired contract. Then it was Sean Lee into today, but you also have Justin March out, special teams guy, Ray Armstrong, and Joe Thomas, all gone. So we basically have an empty room. So it's almost like just for insurance purposes, and so that and on top of that, what West Coast said on LVE's neck, you have to invest. You have to invest. And what you're getting with a Sean Lee is the leadership. You get in a guy who also understands the whole defense. He's the guy that actually leads the defensive room, especially when it comes down to breaking down the patterns on the opposing offense. Because even though he lost the step, where he makes up for losing the step is his anticipation, right? Because he's able to diagnose plays faster than most. And you want that, especially if you're getting ready to bring in some young linebackers. So he's the first domino that's a smart insurance domino to fall in free agency. That's why we say generally this week is going to be, we're not going to sign any big guys this week. We're going to sign our own guys generally this week. And he's a good one. The guy that I also, obviously, we talked about this West Coast. We want behind him is Malcolm Smith. Both of these guys are long in the tooth. They're older, but they're insurance, So, I mean, I love the Sean Lee pick. I would just feel even better about our linebacker room if we take the other step and get Malcolm Smith. If we get both of those, I'm going to rest a lot easier knowing that LVE might not even ever play again, because at least we have two guys that can be quality insurance instead of one. Because West Coast said it yesterday. I don't know if people caught it. They said, look, if we don't really replenish this linebacker room in this free agency, pick 17 is likely going to be linebacker.
It's going to have to be.
And people not saying that. It's like, and I said it in the book, and me and West Coast said it on the show a lot. When we drafted LVE, why did we do that, West Coast?
Because we were trying to replace Sean Lee.
Yeah, he was insurance for Sean Lee's injury proneness. But then, so when he was the insurance for Sean Lee, but now Sean Lee is the insurance for him, that's saying we still
you have a Band-Aid covering a Band-Aid.
Insurance. Yeah, you got a Band-Aid on top of a Band-Aid, so you need another Band-Aid. So, and most people not seeing it like that. That's why Sean Lee and Malcolm Smith are urgent. And people kind of looking over that like they don't remember the days of us being depleted at linebacker. Remember all those games we was getting gashed in the run game in 2017 when Sean Lee was off the field? That's why we got LVE. So it's like you gotta just think and say, okay, what happened when we didn't have that hole plugged properly? We was getting towed up. So now we got 6 defensive tackles with expired contracts, and we got major voids in the middle. What it's really saying is we just got a gaping hole in the running game that we got to fill now.
Man, we didn't have that hole since 2018, since we lost at the Rams. Hey, my boy Stanley says, okay, I asked this before but didn't get any answer. Do you have any update on Chris Harris? We don't have any update on Chris Harris other than what's been said. Technically, free agency doesn't even start until tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So, I think we'd hear some more about it tomorrow. Me personally, I don't know if the Cowboys are going to do it. I think they were just interested in Chris Harris.
I got an update on Chris Harris.
Go ahead. Give me what you got.
Because my friend actually does his mom's taxes and sent his mom the article. This is the only update I got, is that his mom and Chris really want to come to Dallas, and his mom is pressuring him to take a pay cut.
Yeah, but man,
I'm not saying he should do it. I'm just giving you the update. That's all. They asked for an update, and I'm telling you the update I got from a friend that does, his mom's taxes. That's it. So I'm not saying to take a pay cut. I'm just saying that's the update I heard, and I also know for a fact that he really, really, really wants to be a Dallas Cowboy. Now, will he do it in this corner market? Probably not, because there's so many people that's throwing money at corner right now. It's a lot of money getting thrown at corner. Hargraves got $13 million and is basically a journeyman.
And I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you, man. Ain't nobody's mama telling their son to take less money. Ain't nobody's mama telling nobody's son to take less money. Nope, I don't believe. I didn't talk to enough.
I saw the text, bro.
I believe it, but ain't nobody's. To me. I believe it, but ain't nobody's mama telling their son. I didn't talk to too many mamas that be there with their son. Both of them broke, and both of them borrowing money so he can put some cleats on to then him get to the highest point of his career that didn't take less money. While in a same season, like I'm gonna be honest with you. When Byron Jones got 7 or 16 million, whatever he got, man, he doesn't even have the stats or the film. The only thing that he has over Byron Jones, that he has against Byron Jones, is age. That's it. Think about this. Chris Harris had 1 interception last year, and it was still more interceptions than Byron Jones had. last
But
year.
you know, mamas, man. See, mamas will try to sometimes
Yeah,
get you to do
no, I don't know them.
unreasonable
I don't know no
things.
mamas like
Sometimes,
that.
like, listen to me.
Wait, but can I ask
Sometimes
you a question? Wait,
mamas will try
real,
to get you to do unreasonable things for their own reasons.
I
Like my
believe it,
mama
but
was
hey,
like
but real
that.
quick,
Hold
but
on, because let me finish what I'm saying, and then you'll tell me if I'm crazy or not. But like his mama staying prosper, staying in Dallas, and like my mom is kind of weird like that, to where she'll try to get me to make a decision that's not in my best interest because she just want to be closer to my boys. It's stuff like that. So
yeah, but
it's neither here
can I?
nor there.
But
Maybe I shouldn't even
real
say that,
quick,
but
but
that's the
real quick
last
though.
thing I heard on Chris Harris.
Real quick though, because we got a mama on the line right now. How you doing, sis? Adrian, how you doing? Her son has aspirations to play at the next level. He's one of the them YouTube them Instagram kids that just go viral because they just be running touchdowns and all that type of stuff. That's her son is one of them little kids. He plays Snoop League. He just won a Super Bowl this year at the kid level. Miss Hurd, I want to know, at any point of your son, would you encourage your son to take less money when he's a multimillionaire already? Because I mean, this is the thing that I know about taking less money. Taking less money means that you take less opportunity. So it's like to see someone's kids, man. What are you talking about? Your kids can get on an airplane, they can get on private jets. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody mama different, man. I'm not gonna call like a lot out of what I saw. I saw it. So
I
it's
feel
like
it. We
I
just we
can't
just not
deny
gonna.
what I saw. I saw it. So if I saw it, that's what I saw. So it's one of those things to where, it's neither here nor there. I just gave you the last bit of information I heard from a source. I told you the source and I told you how it got to me. That's it.
All right, Miss
So,
Hurd,
and that's
I
the last
still.
thing I heard. Now, is it likely going to happen in this corner market? I really don't think so, because it's just going to be so much money thrown at corner. But that's just the last bit of rumors I heard from the people that I know, Chris.
Yeah, and then also, because my boy Kerry says Cooper took less money to stay in Dallas. Did he?
He did.
Well, but
He
can I ask you
sure
a question,
did.
though? Can I ask you a question? Time out. He took less money to be in Dallas, but the option was Washington.
People take less money, and I talked to Chris
time
about
out.
that before.
Wait. Hold on.
He's talking money.
I believe it. But we're talking Washington.
We talking money.
Okay.
Like if we talking $2 extra million to go to Washington, if it's about money. So it's I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm just telling you the last thing I heard. That's it. So it's one of those things that could be true, could not be true, but that's the last thing I heard from, a text that I received, so that's just what it is. So I'm not trying to stir anybody's hopes that Chris is coming here. I'm not even thinking that that's the case. I'm just telling you that's the last thing I heard. And I know from talking to Chris that Chris really wants to be here, but sometimes it don't happen because it was true that Earl Thomas wanted to be here, but they threw so much money at him with the Ravens. It was like,
yeah, but
I don't want to go much.
I don't really necessarily think that it was so much love that Earl Thomas wanted to go here. Like, I think there was a perception that Earl Thomas wanted to go here when he moved his kids to Austin, but I don't know, maybe people didn't hit that Google button and and see how far Austin is from Dallas. But this is the one thing, the common thing that I've always known about Dallas media. Anytime a player takes forever to sign somewhere, this is always the big thing. Oh yeah, he could have gotten more money somewhere else. I mean, let's just be real. Everybody could have got less money somewhere else, but like I don't want to seem like that that more importantly, Chris Harris shouldn't even have to take less money. You know what I'm saying? Like, his stats preclude him to be a top paid cornerback in this draft. So the fact that I don't want to be seen like we're trying to like push him towards even taking less money. You know what I'm saying? Because it would make career, like you always say, if I'm an agent, why would I take less money in a field right now where this other guy just got Byron Jones, a ridiculous, he's the highest paid cornerback, and the only thing that's different is age. That would be agent suicide.
It just all depends too, because I forgot the running back, but he's on NFL Network. He talked about
Joe said, "My mama ain't telling me to take less money."
It's at certain stages you do certain things. I forgot the name of the running back, but he was talking about that he took less money because he wanted to go home and play for Florida. And he went and played for the Jacksonville. I forgot his name, but there are people
Chris
that
Harris
do these different things for
Dallas.
different reasons. So it's neither here nor there. I mean, we can move on from it. It don't really matter to me. It's just what I heard, and I just relayed what I heard.
Oh yeah. We'll switch we'll switch over. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I get real funny when people start talking about take less money, because for the most part, man, like with my relationships with players that I've had, players really don't ever take less money. What it typically be is you be put in situations and the situation be better. Yeah, that team might have offered you less money, more money, but at the same time, it's like, will you finish through that contract? You take, just like with Byron Jones, when I was saying with Byron Jones, it probably would have precluded Byron Jones to take less money. You want to know why? Because he'll probably be the highest paid cornerback in the NFL for a year. And then this time next year, if he does not produce, you know what happens with those contracts? They release you. So it's
You're
like
right, Alfonso. It was Jones Drew. That's
Jones
who
Drew.
took
Okay,
less
that's
money to go
what I
back
was
to
waiting.
Florida.
That's what I was waiting for that. All right, so so
Yeah,
next
and
on
it
to
was
the
at that stage of his career because he wanted to go home.
absolutely. So we about to talk about these. We about to talk about this last little people that switched over to the Raiders, man. We're gonna talk about it right back after we commercial break. What's up with you guys? It's your boy West Coast. In 2020, I've teamed up with my hot boy, Jalen Smith, number 54, to bring you guys some of the most exclusive eyewear known to man. CEV. I mean, everybody's wearing them. Make sure you guys go over to CEVcollection.com today and use promo code CEV West Coast to get yourself a hot boy discount today. What's up with you guys? It's your boy West. What's up with you guys? It's your boy West Coast. So we back, man. We back live in the building, man. And so we about to jump on these last couple subjects before we get up out of here. And my boy Rob says, but it's Miami. Alfonso says Jones Drew. Keon says he really did. Rob says, yes, sir. Rob, hey, you got you some CVs. I saw you got yours out there. And I see they got sent out to you. So shout out. I remember you put the code in and it brought them down to $54. So I appreciate it. We basically paid for the shipping for you. David says, what's taking so long to sign Woods? Jerry, watch the film. If you're talking about Antoine Woods before we go into this next subject, bro, I'm going to keep it real. And, man, I don't think the Cowboys – I do believe that they're going to sign Antoine Woods, but keep it real, man. Like, he's an exclusive rights free agent. So it's like they have exclusive rights for him. So they could basically –
There's no rush.
There's no rush, man. Like, he can't even go out and broker a deal with somebody else. So it's like Antoine Woods is going to – and you know what's cool?
He'll get done.
Yeah, and you know what's cool, boss? Like, in Antoine Woods' mind, he kind of should know that he's going to get signed, because if they did, they would have probably told him, like, yeah, we're not going to re-sign you. You know what I'm saying? But what they're going to do is, and I'm sorry, it sucks, but I'm just being real. What they're going to do is they're going to sign everybody else, and then the little bit of money they have left over, they're going to give it to him on a 1-year deal. And guess what? He has no choice but to take it. You know what I'm saying? It sucks because by them doing that way and him becoming a free agent the very next year, it lets you know that Antoine Woods will probably be here for 1 year. The big homie going to get his – and I told him, too, it's funny. Boss Cowboy told me, he was like, man, next time you tell him to ball out this year and go get his bag next year, man. Why you tell me the big home? I know why you told me that, but let the people know why you were saying Antoine Woods is probably going to ball out 1 more year for us and then he's gone.
Yeah, because right now he doesn't have the leverage, and he was looking at it from the discussion he had with you about, I want to be appreciated and shown that I'm appreciated. But sometimes your luck doesn't work for you, where he had that freakish injury in the Redskins game where he was hit across his knee. It took him about 4 weeks before he could even become himself. But you could really see that when he was on the field, they couldn't run the ball like they was able to run the ball when he wasn't on the field. And with the timing of him going through that marijuana thing, it devalued him. So now going into 2020 and this season, it's no longer taboo to have marijuana in the game.
Probably won't even get suspended unless he gets in trouble by the law.
Even be suspended. So now his stock is automatically getting the game. He just needs to do one more thing, and that's just ball. If he ball out, his real payday and his real appreciation is going to come after 2020. So if I was talking to him, I would say this. Sometimes God works things out for you, to where this is also not the year that you want to be a defensive tackle. Not this year, because there's so many of them. It's a supply side. You want to go into the market like Byron Jones
when it's weak,
when there's not a lot of corners, when somebody like Hargraves, which is truly considered a traveler, like he is somebody that's going from team to team, and somebody, because the cornerback market is so bad, they said we're going to even give you $13 million. That's the market you want to be in. So, you know, if Woods ever hear this, I'm gonna tell you, Woods, man, actually, this is the better year to play for the peanuts for you to get the paper for 2021.
yeah.
You know, and to be encouraged, you know, and sometimes it does work out for you, because that knee could turn around and be an exponential blessing, just as the surgery was a blessing for who? Byron Jones. Because see, if Byron Jones didn't have that surgery, right, he likely was looking to be traded in Dallas last year. The writing was on the wall. They was already leaking.
Yeah,
we're not shopping Byron Jones.
Yeah, and for people saying that, saying that Chris Harris is not going to get nowhere near Byron Jones money, I don't know if that's crazy. Are you crazy?
Not in this market.
I think he's going to get. I don't think he's going to be the highest paid corner in the NFL. No, but I think he's going to get between $16 and $13 million.
He sure can.
I definitely believe it. Hargraves got 13.
Yes, he could easily get that in this market.
Yeah,
easily. And see, people forget the highest paid last year was $15 million, and that was like what? And these guys coming in blowing that out the water. It's because of the leanness of the market. So if you're a team that gotta have a corner like Philly, think about what really hurt Philly. What hurt Philly more than anything?
Amari Cooper.
and every team bombing them. Just go. Just think back when you was watching the Minnesota game, watching them and hoping they lose. Why did they lose that game? They was getting beat deep. That's why they would definitely pay for Chris Harris, because I looked at Chris Harris film.
And he can travel. And he can travel. That's the number one thing about Chris Harris. Byron Jones does not travel. Weapon. He does. Yeah. If you don't travel, let's say real quick. If you do not travel, you do not deserve to be the highest paid cornerback in the NFL. You want to know why? Because if you don't travel, that means you're not playing the best wide receiver on the field at all times. And that's what I loved about Chris Harris when he came on our show, is he made an emphasis to remind us, man, y'all got to remember, in every game, I'm on the best receiver. Period. Whoever he is. I'm on him every game. That's the difference between me and everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not Byron Jones. Byron Jones is going to be on one side and he's going to be there. So that means if say you have a guy like Odell, or not even Odell, or Julio, you know what you do? And if he's so good, you just put him on the other side and put a third string receiver on him and let Julio get 200 yards on the other guy.
Yeah, and we not saying that's Byron's fault, but what we saying is, you can't actually compare the two, because one of them had a harder job.
One had an absolutely dogfight every single week.
Yeah, every week your job was to follow Hopkins around. Then the next week you had to follow Cooper around. Then the next week you had to follow Julio around all game. And you can't even find a lot of film at all of Chris Harris even getting beat.
Hey, and boss,
obviously he lost his matchups every now and then because he's going against the best. But that's because he's going against the best. So it's no knock on Byron, but if we trying to grade like which person had the harder job, it was Chris Harris. And likely Chris Harris has a much better year if he was just asked to just stick on one side.
Yeah, my boy Joseph says traveling is up to the coaches, though, right? Absolutely, it is. But guess what?
Yeah, we're not blaming him.
But what we're not blaming him. But what we are saying is we're also not going to take that away from Chris Harris, because he did it and succeeded in it.
Right.
And that's the only way, like, to be honest, and just in a cornerback, like, and maybe, and I said this to boss, I said, you know what, maybe I'm just hard on corners because I played the position. They say they say you're harder on a position that you played because
and
you know the dog.
Hard.
Man, I know my standards are very high.
Think we grading it based on expectations that was put on you and me.
Exactly. If you didn't get interception,
if you didn't harder than the expectations that was put on yourself.
Exactly.
So like, you know, and that's just what it is. It's like, we know what it is to be in that position, because that was the core position we played in college. Like, that's me back there about 40 pounds ago, you know, and we know the position. So I know that if I'm called every week to play against the hardest threat on that team, that's a harder job.
And then think about this,
yes,
boss.
Chris
when
Harris go get paid.
Yeah, and boss, think about this, man. One of the biggest awards you can give a corner before a big game is when they come in there and they tell them like, yo, they got this number one receiver, but we got this number one dog. You gonna be on them. Like, that within itself is like a promotion. Like, he's the dog killer. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the dude that takes out the dude that's been running up and down the field on everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And Chris Harris.
I remember the first time it happened to me, but I was the number 2 corner. I was playing with a guy named Damon Hill, which Steve Spurrier said was the best athlete that ever played at Florida, ever. He was 6'2", ran a 4.2, and can jump 42 inches in the air and had the best feet I've ever seen in my life. My partner, D. Hill, playing at Dallas Carter High School. He was like the year before, this team called DeSoto just destroyed us, and they had a receiver that killed us. So this is my first time on varsity, and D. Hill, he was the corner that was assigned to go with that guy. So we messed up on the first play. They came out, and D. Hill, my partner, went on the other side. He recognized it late that killer receiver was on my side. So then he tried to call me over, and I called him off like, no, they already under the snap, go back. Yeah. So he was trying to call me over, and I said, no, go back. So then they hiked the ball and threw a touchdown on him, right? And so we start arguing on the sideline, to your point, West Coast. And he said, I'm supposed to follow him, Slide. That was my nickname in high school. He said, I'm supposed to follow him, Slide. I said, say, man, straight up. I said, I got him. And if you don't trust me, then, say that's your problem, but I got him. You got to let me do my job. And my boy D. Hill said, Slide, you right. You know what I mean? And I locked him down for the rest of the game. And that's what started, me getting like Division I scholarships and stuff like that from that matchup. But you're right. That's one of the things that is a badge of honor for a corner. When you told that's the matchup, you got him, and he's a killer unless you can limit him or stop him. That's the biggest badge of honor when you're given that assignment. And that might have been Dallas' fault. Like, if you're talking about paying Byron, you should have tested Byron with that responsibility. That's where we messed up. And he might have got more interceptions, because guess what? You have to throw at your number one receiver. So put him in a position to where he could have made more plays because of his coverage ability. So Byron Jones might be a dog that we never really got to see his full potential as a scheme. But regardless, you still got to grade what you saw on tape.
Man, that you just being nice, because I'm gonna tell you this right now.
I'm also being realistic.
You being realistic. Okay, so can I ask you what was he doing in cover 2 then? What was he doing in cover 2? Cover 2, I have backside help. What is he?
Safety help.
What am I doing? What are you doing?
You do got safety help on the halves on cover 2.
Okay, so then you're gonna tell me that for the last 4 years, every single time that he was in cover 2, there was never a ball that was thrown in front of him? Because, bruh, cover 2 means I have action at touching the ball. You're gonna tell me?
Yeah, you got help.
I had help the whole time. So my question is, what is he doing on cover 2? Cover 2 is designed for me to get my hands on the ball.
Close to you in every position. Like, everybody's gonna get a chance to get their hands on the ball. So it's no excuse for no interceptions. I'm not saying that. I'm just also saying that scheme wise, we didn't help showcase him. Because we used to always say that, like, why don't y'all put Byron on the biggest threats? Especially if you're talking about paying him, the way that you want to really know if he's worth his money is watching him on the best threats.
And not what happened when we played Atlanta. You know who was on Julio Jones? Guess who was on Julio Jones? Cheeto and Jordan Lewis. When we played,
Michael, I do not believe you. My boy said I locked down Crabtree in 03. Nope, don't believe you. No,
he might. Hey, if you got the stats,
no.
Hey, I ain't gonna knock.
No, see that film.
Hey, I ain't gonna knock him. There's some dogs out there, man. Because I know, like my boy. Hey, my boy.
You know I'm gonna talk that noise to you.
Yeah, like my boy. Hey, my boy Kerry says. My boy Kerry says. Well, West Coast, how many interceptions did you have? Hey, check your inbox right now, buddy. Check your inbox right now. Hey, don't play me, man. Hey, I hug the block like Dion. Don't trip. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know, talking about we got out there, you know what I'm saying? But you absolutely right, man. Like, when I think about the cornerback position, like, I filter it through the expectations that were put on me. You know what I'm saying? The expectations that were put on me. You know what I'm saying? And, like, I remember my last year semi-pro. Like, I was one of the older guys on the team, and I was playing corner. There was a bunch of young dudes on there that was still trying to make it in the league, and that was just way, way faster than me. You know what I'm saying? But these dudes didn't process the game as fast as I did. You know what I'm saying? So it was crazy too, because there was a time in the game where, you know, everything is happening, and in my safety, my dude, it was the corner on that side was just getting towed up. You know what I'm saying? He's like, man, put 15. That's my number. He's like, put 15 in there. You know what I'm saying? So we go in there. I go in there, made a good play, ended up getting a real good knockdown on the play. Right, come back off the field. The youngster like, bro, like this dude knew he was faster than me. It's two things that people know on the field: who better and who faster. You know what I'm saying? It's just we play against each other every day. You know who's better and who's faster.
Yeah, you know the dog.
Exactly. So they ran the same route on him, but I got a hand on the ball. Right? The little youngster's like, he's like, yo, like, what did you do? You know what I'm saying? And you know what I told him? I said, bro, I played the defense. You know what I'm saying? The difference between me is I played the coverage. I went where I was supposed to be on the coverage, and guess what? My safety was where he was supposed to. We trusted each other, and I put my hand on the ball. There are defensive schemes that are designed to do that. So guess what?
Let me give you another example of let me say defense that's designed to help.
Let me say this last thing. So in cover 2, if you're not getting your hands on the ball, like my coach Dixon used to say, you're not doing your job. Because I'm creating schemes to help you get your hands on the ball. And if you're not doing your job.
The best defense to get turnovers is 2-man. See, because 2-man is
you got to have a dog, though.
See, with 2-man, you can play press coverage. You can be exponentially aggressive on the receivers. You know why? Because you have help from the safeties that take everything deep, and they want you to break on everything underneath. Be completely physical and never even worry about getting beat.
Yeah. Safeties have what's called deepest man deep.
And I know Dallas ran 2-man, so there are certain defenses that are designed for you to get interceptions and to be aggressive. Because if you can't really be aggressive if you also worried about getting beat over your head. But if you already know I got help back there, so I can just get in this guy's face as soon as they hood, I can jam him in his chest and I can just do what I want. Yeah, it's the defenses that's designed for corners to be able to do whatever they want.
Because, boss, you got to think like this. You're down 7-8 points going into the going into the fourth quarter. A team's going to still pass on you, and they're still going to run on you, right? When you go out there to run the ball, when you put your defense out there to stop them from running, it's going to be to stop them to run so you can get the clock. And then guess what? When they go to pass, it's going to be to get your hands on the ball so you can get it back to your offense. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what makes sense. Turnovers create turnovers. Turnovers create opportunities. And most importantly, man, you got to look at the guy who's going to be coaching these guys. The guys who's going to be coaching this guy said the number one thing that was important to him is what? Getting your hands on the ball. Why? Because that's how we help the offense. If you guys rocked with me all last year, you guys know one of the biggest things that I kept on saying is this, man. This offense has to help this defense, and this defense have to help each other. They help each other. How does the offense help each other? How does the offense help the defense? By keeping them off the field. That's how you help your defense. Keep them off the field. You know what I'm saying? Have long, methodical drives.
Right, man. And
how does your defense help your offense? How can my defense help my offense? The only way that we can help the offense is to get you a turnover. And I'm going to tell you this, right? There's been too many games, because I ain't going to lie. Unfortunately, I've been on more bad teams than I've been on really, really good teams. Some people's career just like that. My career was I have always been on teams that got put out in the second round. We either get put out in the second round of the playoffs or we didn't make the playoffs. That's just what it was. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I know about, being on teams is, man, you got to always understand when to execute, when to do your plays, and whenever to do the things that are surrounding always at the right time. But Boss Cowboy, before we switch to this next thing, man, I wanted to say one more thing. Go ahead, shoot.
You just said, where coaching does make a big difference to turnovers. One of my friends I played with at U of H, he's actually on FX1 right now.
And U of H is that picture that's you in the back right there.
Yeah, that's me, U of H. So, and he had a real good career in the NFL. One of the things that he said, and I remember him, he was not a ball guy at all, no ball skills. He said what changed him when he was in his 4th year in the NFL, and he said his coach told him this. He said, man, I don't care about you getting beat. I just want you to make plays.
Yeah.
So if the ball is in the air, that's your ball. Now, if you get beat going for that ball, I don't care. And he said just the coach telling him that freed him from the pressure of feeling like I can't let this guy catch, and turned him into a guy that's like, that's my ball.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
That's
true.
true.
Even that slight psychological coaching tip is what increased his turnovers, because when the ball was in the air, he didn't feel accountable. Like, my job is not to let this guy catch it. He felt like my job is to get that. So it's, you're right. Like, coaching is exponential to turnovers.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, yo, man, we've been rocking on this for about an hour and 30 minutes, man. We appreciate everybody that's tuned in. We'll probably do another show later on tonight, man, because I know the nation is real hungry for information. It's a lot of stuff going on, and we want to make sure that we keep you guys updated. I kind of got a list of, I'm gonna have to update it because this was just of yesterday, but I also want to do kind of like a show kind of themed where we kind of talk about what other teams outside of the division, outside of the Dallas Cowboys are doing, because a lot of times we focus on our own team, and then we are kind of oblivious to what's going on in our division. And you got to remember, in order for us to get to the tournament, the first thing you have to do is win your division. You don't win your division, you ain't getting in the playoffs. And you got to remember, only one team going forward will have a bye, and that's going to be the number 1 seed team. Everybody else is going to be playing that first week in the playoffs. So winning your division, it just became even more important. So we're going to be, I got down pretty much everything that each team has done. And we'll just kind of talk about that in reference to how it's going to, help them this season, or how it's going to hurt them, and most importantly, how is the Dallas Cowboys going to use it to beat that team? Because, man, I'm going to tell you, man, I know when a lot of people say the Giants, they start laughing, but the Giants over there working with a monster, man.
Don't laugh at them Giants.
And you know what I believe the Giants are going to do?
And don't laugh at them Redskins.
But you know what I think the Giants are really going to do? What I believe the Giants are doing, man? The Giants are building their defense through free agency, because that's where the grown man is. You need grown men to stop Zeke. You need grown men to stop Geis. You need grown men to, push around guys. And then they're going to go get weapons in the draft. And they're going to get they're going to give a young quarterback who already has the number 2 or the number 1 or 2 running back, and he already got the running game. They already got that. So what they're going to do next is they're going to go get some weapons. And I don't think they're just going to get one weapon. I think they're going to get a couple of weapons. Don't sleep on the Giants, man. And you got a pissed off coach over there in Jason Garrett.
Yeah. And it's, like, I never sleep on our division anyway. Because remember when the Redskins was, before we went on that 7-1 run in 2018, the Redskins was winning our division until
they were 5-2
until Alex Smith had that old crazy injury.
Yep, sure.
So did. And nobody saw that coming. Like, we have the most competitive, because nobody beat up on each other worse than our division. See, and we'll sneak up on you in our division, because you'll think, oh, the Giants 9-7. But we toughen each other up so much with them wars we have in our division that we'll run all the way to the Super Bowl. It's because it's a competitive division. So a lot of people make the mistake and think our division is weak. No, our division is competitive. We got, I think, the most pride in the NFL against each other. That's why even when we played the Giants that year where Dak had to beat them with that game-winning throw, on paper, everything said we was going to demolish them, and it was a game. It was the best, meaningless game that I ever saw in my life, because we played with pride in our division. So you're right. When you look at where our competitors in our division are positioned to draft, and you look at what they're currently doing, you're right, West Coast. They building, and they building against us, right?
Yeah. And so, I mean, and my thing is this, man. The NFL, this is something else that we also got to understand about our division, is that our division actually makes the NFL money. So our division games are always going to be in prime time. That means they're always going to be at peak seasons. That means there's a really good chance you're going to open up against the division, and there's even better. And I mean, I'm going to just keep it real. I think this is going to be, every team in the NFL is probably going to, their last final game going forward is going to be a divisional game. You want to know why? Because it guarantees that the game matters. Because even if, because I'm going to tell you right now, a 1-7 Dallas Cowboy team playing against a 1-15 Dallas Cowboy team playing against a 15-0 Giants team, no matter if we have something to lose or not, we're trying to beat you. We're trying to beat you. And think about this, in the Giants' worst season, you know the one thing they held their hats on? We beat the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
Remember that?
Yes.
Them dudes went. I think they went 4. I think we lost to them both times, didn't we?
Yes. In 2016, yes.
And I remember, and you know the funny thing about it is they actually
should've won
burned.
both.
And think about this: they should have lost the game because it would have given them better draft position. And you know what they did? They were trying to win the game. 2000 and even 2017. I mean 2018. You're absolutely right, boss. They should have not been trying to win that game. And guess what they're doing? They have been trying to win the game.
Yep.
And if they don't, and think about this, boss, if they win that game, they probably don't get Daniel Jones because that's the pick they used to get him. So think about this. They were okay with Morgan in their whole future to beat the Dallas Cowboy. You know who that is? That's a pissed off baby mama. What you mean?
Yeah, that's hate.
Hell, you mean? I don't know too much hate in that.
Bro. Like, I love going to games, watching us go against our rivals because the hate is real. Like,
bruh, rivalry games, I'm going to tell you this too. If you're a fan and you're wanting a guaranteed good game, go to a rivalry game.
Oh, yeah.
Like, go to a division game.
You're going to love it from beginning to end.
It's going to be good.
Tailgating to the game to the end when you trolling or being trolled.
Yep.
It's the best. And we all take it with good class unless you're in Philly.
Brandon Carr just got released. What's your thoughts on him? I think we should have never released him in the first place. I think
Me too.
Yeah,
Brandon Carr, man. Look, man. Brandon Carr is super quality.
And that was not his fault when he got beat. They were in cover 2, and that should have been the safety. When Odell Beckham did that play, that's why Brandon Carr got up like this. Like, where was y'all at? That was the safety's fault.
But listen, I gotta talk the real on Carr because I was actually on somebody's show, and I said that Carr was better than Jones, and it was like, what? I said, yes, bro. And just think about it. In 2016, our pass rush was it was 31st. Yeah. So that means that Carr and Mo was out there covering for like
forever.
7 seconds.
At one point, they had Mo ranked as like the best corner in the NFL, and Brandon Carr was ranked as a top 10 because it made sense because them dudes was really covering because we didn't have anybody
for like all day.
And the proof is because in 2017 we went and drafted Taco Charleston. Remember the famous War Daddy? I need a War Daddy. That's what Jerry Jones said.
Because our pass rush was so bad.
Yep.
So I always say this: if Carr and Mo had the developed Tank and Quinn, where we was getting all those sacks with the developed David Irvin, bro, we would have paid them because they was doing their job to cover for that long.
Yep. That's
why we went 13-3.
Yep.
Like straight up. And even in the Green Bay game, you don't remember Mo and them getting toasted? That wasn't Mo. That wasn't Carr.
And then, boss, you got to think like this, man. My question is this: like, if you would have had Brandon Carr instead of Jones right now, you know what you would have had? More money. Because the end results was the same. Because what did you get in with Byron Jones?
The same.
Or
actually, you got more turnovers with Carr. So, and then Carr don't miss games, just like Jones. He don't miss games. And then none of y'all can go tell me with the Ravens a bad play.
Yeah.
Think about it. Y'all can't tell me in the playoffs that Carr did something bad. You can't, even when they lost, you can't say, oh, that was on Carr.
Hey, boss,
you can't tell me one play. If he's so bad, so he's old, but he's almost going to be like Terrence Williams. Terrence Williams actually started playing almost better ball as he's getting older. You know what I mean? Like, especially if you use him right. Like, do I want Carr to stay on the outside? Probably not at this age at 35. But Carr don't miss games, man. He kind of like Dak. He just built like a tank, bro. Like, if you put him in the nickel, I'd be cool with that.
Mm-hmm. Last subject we gonna talk about before we switch out of here, man. We got Tom Brady signing for $30 million. You had Teddy Bridgewater signing for $20 million. You had you have a bunch of guys signing contracts. What are your thoughts on Tom Brady signing a $30 million contract? Got a $30 million a year for 3 years. Brady just got $30 million.
I'm glad you brought up that, man, because I was thinking about that earlier and forgot to say this, man. This quarterback market is hurting Dak.
Hey, can I tell you something real quick? It's an amazing statement that was said, and that is so true. Todd Francis is the same agent for Ryan Tannehill, right?
Mm-hmm.
And guess who else he's the agent for, right? Dak Prescott, right?
Yeah.
Todd Francis is going to get slapped in the face by Dak Prescott if he can get one client $31 million for 12 games, but you can't get another client $34 million for 58 games. That's the same dude.
But I think this market is hurting Dak. Bro.
But you get what I mean?
No, I get it. You got to. I mean, Tannehill puts pressure on Dallas to pay Dak, but all of these quarterbacks are signing grossly under market. Like this market is actually backwards, and I don't get it because and it might be the corona.
It ain't no damn corona. It's older quarterbacks. Ain't no damn corona.
No, Bridgewater signed for 20. I'm like,
yeah, but Teddy Bridgewater ain't even. But see, can I ask a question, boss? I think you know what I think the real problem. I think we have to kind of apologize. You know why? Because every quarterback that you're saying, Brendan, them dudes compare to Dak Prescott. Teddy Bridgewater's never.
I ain't saying compare.
I know, but what? But
20 million.
Yes, but
compare Bridgewater to Tannehill. $9 million difference. It is not.
Exactly, but what I'm saying is Dak Prescott should be in his own lane because Tannehill should not be evaluated the same way you evaluate Dak Prescott.
No,
just think about this.
I agree.
Just think about this. Imagine if these guys weren't in the NFL. Imagine if these guys were in college and they were coming into the NFL and they had these stats. And you said, okay, you can draft this guy number 1 overall. He has 12 games that he's played decent. You can draft this guy number 1 overall. He played 7 games last season. He played no games the season before that. And then he played 8 games the season before that. Has only played 13 total games in a total season. Or you can draft this other guy who is been starting for the last 4 years for his college. Never missed a game. Has better statistics than both guys that you're talking about. And has led both of his team to 2 playoffs when neither one of those teams players have done either one of those. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you would be looking at Dak like, well, Dak is a first rounder. Teddy Bridgewater and oh yeah, Brady, he's cool, but he's 20. He's old. He's not even comparable. Like, Dak Prescott is literally a Lamborghini, and the rest of these dudes are Priuses. Like, yeah, you can say, yeah, they're both two. You know, the Prius got a 2-door now. Yeah, they got a 2-door. But guess what? You lift the top. That one got a totally different engine than the other one. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not that these guys are really inflating the market. It's just that Dak Prescott.
I said deflating.
Deflating the market. It's not that they're really deflating the market. I just think we as a fan base need to stop evaluating Dak Prescott against guys who have 12 games. Dak should be evaluated against another guy with 58
I think you're
games.
Misunderstanding what I'm saying. You really help. Like, this market would help Dak if somebody like Bridgewater got like 32 or 33. Because then if Bridgewater gets 32 or 33 after 5 games, then that just makes Dak bone like even more.
But
like
20 million for 7 games sounds realistic to me. That's what I'm saying. 20 million for only 7 games, like, that sounds realistic to me.
But it's some people get treated different, and it's obvious because even by your same example, Dak, even coming out of college, was a better prospect than Wentz and Goff. Goff only had really one good year, and that was his senior year where he was at his best 8-4, right? And they were still judging him on potential, right? Wentz was coming from a D2 school.
And had an injury history.
But he
in college.
His mechanics, he just looked good to look at. But, like, if you judge by the normal standards of what you said, who played for the biggest school, who had the biggest pressure, who had the less talent around him and took his team to number 1 in the country and upset teams like Alabama, right? Who was the MVP of the Senior Bowl? All the things you check off a list as having it, Dak had it coming into the league, but he still was devalued. And I'm still like over here like, Bridgewater got 20 and he led Minnesota to the to the playoffs. And he was 5-0 and clearly throwing better. When you can clearly look at who carried Tennessee was not Tannehill. And he got 29.
He got 30. He really got 62 million over 2 years.
And then Kirk Cousins just got 33. You like, this market tripping me out, bro. This is the first time I've been dumbfounded in a quarterback market.
The only person I think that you can really compare Dak Prescott to is Kirk Cousins. because they have the time in service. You can't compare Dak Prescott to freaking that's like comparing a dad that's in the house every day to a guy who picks up his kids. Like that doesn't work that way. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
For some people, it seemed to work that way. Like, for instance, Jimmy Garoppolo only played 6 games for San Fran.
My boy says, bro.
And set the market in 6 games. Like, Tannehill ran at that deal because he was basically like a journeyman. If you really think about it, he was a journeyman that took over for Mariota, got hot. And really not hot. He was more so carried by a hot running back, like truly carried. Like, if you go look at the playoffs and what he really did with his arm.
Derrick Henry had 2 games where he went over 30. He had 33 and 31 carries in a game.
Bruh, that's doing the whole job.
Bro, there's only 60 plays in a game. 60. So you're gonna tell me
he got him paid?
He got half of them.
I'm
went to him running back.
With this. The only thing that I can get. This is the only thing I came up with, West Coast, and tell me what you think. Okay. I think I need to do a better job at calculating people that came off crisis, because whenever people come off crisis, they seem to go with team friendly, similar to Jalen, similar to Leal. When you lost millions before, you cherish millions the next time it come up. So Teddy Bridgewater with that knee injury almost lost his career. So the next time he's out for something, it's almost like he don't want to fight for it. He's almost like, I'm just thankful to be in the league because I was almost out the league. Same thing with Tannehill, is he had that injury with his knee as well. So they not fighting for their money like cats that's never been injured, like Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, like, I'm fighting for every dime. Man, Kirk Cousins, if you 33 on the 2-year. The genius about that is right when those television revenues kick in, he gonna be talking again about another increase.
Yeah, you went robot. You went
real big pie.
You went robot on me, brother. My boy, your voice is sounding robot. I think you hit something or something. Dayan, he said, can somebody ask him a question? I don't see a question, man. Questions usually end with question marks. I think that's a statement, but I don't know which one is a question. Says, bro, NGL is Tom Brady's going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's what I heard. Kerry says 30 passes in 2 playoff games. Appreciate you, Nate Threen, for the 100 stars. Rob Jarman says, Slim Thug, what's up with you, man? Yeah, I know he came in with that Houston swag. He said Brady got $30 million a year for 3 years. Carr was playing safety a while. Went to Davis. My boy Brian says, I went to the Dallas versus Philly game and had nothing to play for, and they were all pissed off we won. Yeah, because them games matter, man. They absolutely matter.
I sound like a robot still.
Nah, you good now. But yo, man, Cowboy, we've been out here almost 2 hours, boss. Let them know where they can find you at, man.
Hey, Kerry, man, it's for you, man, because you know what, you've been a sport on that Byron Jones, man. You know, I mean, you rock so hard for Byron Jones. When he left, the first person I contacted, I said, I'm going to holler at my boy Kerry just to make sure you're all right. So you can find me at Boss Cowboy Sports, man, and I'm rocking my hat to the side for the H-Town Cowboy legend that's just like me and hate Texans fans. I can't stand them, bro. And I know why you can't stand them, because they hate us. I know what it's like being an H-Town, being a Cowboy fan, because obviously I played football down, and I know how they are. So anyway, man, much love. You can find me at Boss Cowboy Sports with my CP shades on.
I heard that. Hey, man, you guys already know what it is, man. And Trina, I appreciate you for the stars. Everybody that's still on, that's still rocking with us, man, we appreciate you guys for rocking. We probably try to do a show later on tonight, man. Curtis, I appreciate you for the stars. I knew I saw one more up there. Curtis, I saw you, man. I got you. I appreciate you for the stars. Ballhead, I see you. I see you, Jose. And was there another person in here? That, if not, what's up with you, Eric? I see you up there. But, hey, man. Hey, it's been a good show, man, and I appreciate everybody for rocking with us tonight, man. Hey, man, y'all stay safe out there, man. Don't do nothing West Coast wouldn't do. Don't be shaking no hands, rubbing no hands, and none of that other stuff. Stay at your mama house and chill out, man. Watch some TV. Find a good Netflix show. If we ain't on, watch Netflix. They got good information. Hey, but, man, I'm telling y'all already know what it is, man. Never look down. But wait, Arrow says, West Coast and Boss Cowboys, I appreciate all the knowledge and skills you guys bring. Love listening to you guys, and I appreciate you, man. We love giving the information. We love the feedback. We appreciate you guys sharing, caring. Also, I'll be doing a scout call later on in the morning. So if you want to jump on that call, remember, if you want to support the stream, all you got to do is hit that supporter. You'll be able to get yourself a tag right above your name and a bunch of other terps, man. Hey, y'all already know what it is, though. Never look